welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I have a really special vintage junk journal to show you today. This is a vintage Raggedy Ann and Andy book from the 70s, so truly vintage, called In the Tunnel of Lost Toys. And to introduce this junk journal are my friends Raggedy Ann and Andy. These are my childhood dolls that I've kept over the years because they were just that special. They're very worn because they were so very well loved and played with, but they're going to stick around to help me show off this wonderful junk journal. That's actually a really good size. It's 6 3/4 by almost 9 inches. Actually, it is 9 inches. Got some vintage necklace pieces here that match the cover, and it's all intact here. So let me take you on a tour before I put it in my Etsy shop. And again, everything inside here is authentic, antique, and vintage ephemera. Tons of really cool things you've not seen before, and some Raggedy Ann vintage and Raggedy Andy vintage ephemera scattered throughout. So here's the original first front page, and then the original first page of the book. In the pocket here that I've made out of a vintage recipe book is this wonderful cover of a 1953 Women's Day magazine. Look at this little cutie patootie. Look at the eyes. 7 cents. My goodness. Great advertisement on the back for towels. Maybe someday that baby will grow up to love Raggedy Ann and Andy too. September 1941, so this was during the war, and this is from a Popular Photography magazine. And you can see the great cameras, modern day cameras back in 1941. Pretty cool, love those historical pieces. And a 1938 flinch card. And then this is one of my last, there's not many left of this, is these wonderful little 1950s playing cards. Cute little kittens. You can just tell they're 1950s, right? Look at the artwork. It's easy to spot. Now this is from another Raggedy Ann book. It's a little hardcover bedtime story book. Raggedy Ann and the Cooking School. I know, right? And then this is just a really fun cluster I did. All kinds of textures and antique papers and stamps. Antique paper on the back for you to find writing space on, which there is a lot of. Some of it's hidden, some of it's wide open. Now this little floating pocket here is got a beautiful tag in it that I made out of a 1923 book, The Table Ways of Today's. And last month I made a lot of journals using the plates from that book. But look at this, isn't that great? So you can journal inside and out. It's got some signatures inside, and one of Stacy's Maple Grove Dairy 1950s receipts. And on the back is a great 1940s or 50s children's book. Look at the vivid colors on there. Just so fun. And that's all tucked inside this pocket on top of a early 1900s Pitman's shorthand page. These are some 1960s probe game pieces and a 1965 payday piece tucked in that little pocket there. And over here, I have this envelope, which is really weird. This is from 1943, so also during the war, but it has a faux window here. And I just have never seen that before. It's a little cracked because it's so old. And inside, I just tucked this Webster's New World Dictionary vintage page here and 1963, just so that you could have a little bit of extra writing space. Any white space on a page, use it to write on. I write on all kinds of little spaces, like little teeny tiny corners and things. Just really makes it a great way to use up all the space in your journals. And this is cool, from 1953. This is an Ice-Capades. It was only the 7th year Ice-Capades were in existence, but look at this. Look at the theme for this Ice-Capades storybook. And we've got Raggedy Ann and Andy all flip-flopping with their skates on all over. How great is that? Isn't that wonderful? 72 years old. And then the costumes here are just hilarious. And we've got a vintage Trees of America page there, and this wonderful 1940s Theater Arts magazine page. Look at this. Look at the floating people down here. I've got the feeling that might be Mary Poppins. It is Mary Poppins. Isn't that great? Yeah, love it. Vintage botanical page and a handwritten thesis paper. And I love that there's red ink and black ink on there. And this wonderful vintage Mammals and Birds of North America page. Look at these gorgeous birds on here. And the little guys on the back. So you can have lots of fun with that. You can fussy cut them and put them throughout, or just enjoy it the way it is. Another vintage garden book page here. And then there's a different Raggedy Ann book, there, or sorry, Raggedy Ann page from that little hardcover bedtime story book. And hey, 1922 Child's Garden of Verses. Love it. Authentic, original, and this wonderful poem on the back. Isn't that amazing? I love it. So I just love those Child's Garden of Verses, and I know a lot of people do photocopies of them. I'm lucky enough to have the real McCoy. This is another book. This is a soft copy Raggedy Ann, cover Raggedy Ann book. How cute is that? Wave back, hello. And I've put in the pocket here a 1950s bingo card from a bingo game I got. I love the box of that bingo game too. I'm going to make something with that. And then a 1930s children's book page. And here's a souvenir card from BC, the botanical gardens there. Victoria, gorgeous. 1932 Paris, France Almanac page. And this is one of these wonderful 1856 school architect books. There's some greats and an antique music sheet here. Another one of these wonderful Raggedy Ann pages turned into a pocket. And look at this little sweetie. This is from 1926, so 99 years old. The delineator. Why baby powder is important. Morton's salt. I think they still have Morton's salt, don't they? It's just so much fun. Look at that modern bathroom. I just love it. So I think you'll love it too. It's fun to have something that old and in such good condition that you can really play around with that and enjoy the readings from days gone by. And here is an 1887 plate from Chatterbox. Look at this wonderful little dinner party here. More fun music sheets. This is more of that 1856 school architecture book, how to heat the schools with coal. And then this is another gardening page here. And this is another hand-typed research paper. The research is on 1893. It's kind of fun. You can journal on the back of that. Big, but blank on the back. Say that 3 times fast. That's another vintage children's book page back there. And this is an early 1900s, pre-1905 botanical book. Look at these gorgeous images. Like, it's stunning. The good photography they had so long ago. Kind of puts us to shame now. And then this is a gorgeous 1930 postcard, and that is of course Westminster Bridge in London. Isn't that wonderful? A really fun little message there. And a 1959 children's sticker page from the nature book. This is a great menu making page. All the different Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner. And here is a wonderful 1949 photograph here of a little island, probably up at the cottage, maybe. Another little vintage children's book page here. Look how fun that is. And you could journal on the back of that as well. This is from a 1904 English garden book. I love the color. And here's another one of the best Connie Francis doll cutouts, 1955. Love it. This is one of her evening outfits. And then we have a little Snow White pocket down here from 1920 and a vintage bird page here. And this is from 1938, the Snow White paint and color book. And some little child over the last, 90 years almost, colored in the little dwarfs here, the 7 dwarfs. Can you name the 7 dwarfs? Think about it. It's not easy. This I made into a little journaling tag, and that's just a really great Rice Krispie ad from, guess what, the 1920s. And this is a 1937 5-year diary page, February. You can ask for a different date. If I have it, I'm happy to include it. And this is another one of these wonderful Raggedy Ann pages from this book here, double-sided. Look at, there they are, closing in on bedtime. How to set a proper table. I'm learning. I've taken pictures of these, I swear to God, so I can remember. 1939, a wonderful piece of an envelope there, and 1955. This is really cool. So this was a 1955 stamp collector's page, and somebody has hinged a stamp in here, and then another one here. And that one actually matches. I love that. And so those are antique. Then we have a wonderful plate here from the early 1900s. A little pocket here with a thistle, and then we have a This is really cool. It's a banknote, but it's been taped up like crazy. So somebody really wanted this banknote to make it through the ages. It expired in 1972 though. Children's book page. Another children's book page here just for fun. And this is one of these awesome recipe scrapbooks that somebody put in their favorite recipes into. And these look kind of like barbecue baked spaghetti. Seriously? Philly sauce. What have we got here? Texas hash, hobo meatball stew. Just really, really cool recipes. And I actually took a picture of those too because I might try one. And this is a wonderful vintage book on art pieces. So it's a plate that is vintage about an antique portrait. Grid paper there, vintage. This is antique page here from Freckles. Some vintage Monopoly money. You can journal on the back of that as well. And this is from a 1920s word game, Here and One. Another really old piece here for journaling on. And then this here is another antique book page that just has a great space for secret journaling on because it's hidden, tucked behind. And that's the end. I hope you love this. It's very special. You can find this at hyperstamper.etsy.com. Dolls not included. Don't forget to subscribe and come back soon.